Hey there guys, I'm back again, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about validation or just kind of being recognized for your art as an artist. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about just kind of works in progress and just to give you a kind of update. So validation, recognition. You know, I used to always think about that. I used to always think, oh, as an artist, I want to be validated. I want my work to be meaningful for other people, which I do. I do want it to be meaningful for people, but I also want it to be meaningful for myself. But I used to always get caught up and think, oh, I need my art to be validated. I need it to be recognized. I need it for people to feel like it has value for them. And I used to get that way quite a lot. And because as an artist I used to often seek validation for my art. And I felt if people did not appreciate my art or like it, it meant my art was not good enough. And but now I think more than ever that's not really the case. You know, I don't think I need to have, my art needs to be validated or have some kind of recognition for myself to be kind of happy with it. Because the more I think about it now, the more I realise that, if I'm not happy with the work, that's the most important thing. I need to be happy with it first. And if I'm happy with it, then that's a good thing. But if other people aren't happy with it, or they don't like it, or they don't appreciate it, or they don't value it, then that's out of my control. That's not something that I can decide. It's up for other people to decide. But I used to get quite sometimes I used to get pretty annoyed, if my work wasn't accepted. I remember when I was I give you an example, like doing exhibition applications, like competitions, and having rejection after rejection after rejection. And I used to get quite annoyed about it because I really I put in a lot of energy into creating something and I really liked it. But I realised it was strange because other people didn't like it, and I didn't understand it because I thought, well, if I like my art, if I like what I've created, why doesn't other people? And I used to find that frustrating, and in some sense, occasionally I do still get a little bit annoyed, but now more than ever I realise that it doesn't really matter anymore, because as long as I'm happy with what I'm creating, that's the most important thing. Because otherwise, I guess I wouldn't be creating it in the first place. And again, it used to be for like showing my work in public spaces. If no one came along to the show, then I'd get upset and just thinking, well, what's going on? But I realised that it's out of if people aren't interested in looking at your work, for me, I realised it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that I shouldn't let that put me off. I shouldn't let that determine my value. So I thought I'd just talk kind of briefly a bit about that. Got my notes again just to keep the video on track. Oh yeah, and then dealing with social media as well. I used to find that a bit annoying as well, because you post something, you think, oh, I really like this, and hopefully other people will like it, and then you realise, oh, there's not many likes on this post. You think, oh yeah, the artwork must be pretty bad. but then I really don't think that's the case. But I think what I'm trying to say is, though, that I think my mind is shifted now, where I realise that, okay, validation is nice, or recognition is nice in some way, it's nice to have people who recognise your work and say, oh, that's good work, that's good art. That's a nice thing to have. But I think more and more than ever now, I realise that the most important thing is that I like it and I enjoy creating it. And if people like it, they like it, and if they don't, they don't. But it's pretty interesting thinking about that. So I thought I'd just briefly talk about, validation as an artist, or looking for that kind of recognition. That's a little bit about validation or recognition, and how kind of my perception about it has kind of changed over time. I think from being kind of caught up in it, and now kind of just freely doing my own thing. But anyway, I thought I'd just give you a brief insight into works in progress at the moment. I got these ceramic, I've just finished making these ceramic wall piece, and originally I was thinking, have them as a set to be displayed in a circular form like this on the wall. So I'm still kind of thinking about that one, thinking it through, but I really wanted to make it really bubbly and look like it was like popping out. It has that kind of pop, maybe that kind of pop art kind of feature style to it, I'm not too sure. But I was just playing with all these spheres and then cutting them up and joining them together, and then using all these patterns just to make the forms kind of pop up and bounce. So that's a wall piece that I've just that's the kind of wall piece that I've just finished. But I need to think about how I'm actually going to go about having it displayed. So I'm still kind of working that one through. I mean, maybe it might change again, but I'm not too sure. I mean, do you guys have any idea about how to display it? I mean, if you have an idea, feel free to leave a comment, because it'll be really interesting to know, because you might have another opinion or idea. And then what else we got? And then we got these ones. These are some new ceramic sculptures, and I've recently been using porcelain, because coming back from Lithuania we were using bone china. I didn't get any bone china yet, so I'm still looking into that, but I got some porcelain, so I decided to use that. And again, it's like using these bubble sphere type pieces that I threw in the pot as well, and then cut them up. Well, not cut them up, but just join them together to create this whole form. But I'm looking at doing these kind of wall sculptures with that, so I'm seeing how that's going to go. But just these pieces are just really playful. I think I'm just really experimenting with the process and the clay, and seeing what happens from there. And this one's a smaller piece, so hopefully going to have a smaller piece and a larger piece, just to play around with the two different sizes. And what else we got? And then I'm also working on this new canvas collage piece with these barcodes, and using barcodes again, because for me they just represent the society I live in, because it's pretty much everywhere. It's the fabric of society, from storing information to managing products, commerce. So there's a lot of meaning behind barcodes, I feel, and in some ways barcodes is quite sinister. That's that kind of sinister, kind of like, on one hand it's good, on the other hand it kind of looks like, not too sure, barcodes, what's going on here? It's like, storing people's information in the whole digital age. So anyway, I'm using barcodes for this background, and then and then I'm going to do some kind of painting, abstract painting on top. And then this one, is still waiting for this one to dry. It's been drying for a week now, I think. I got this oil on the surface, so it's still drying out. So I don't know how much longer I need to leave that to dry. Maybe another week. But again, I really like using these collage paper cutouts. So these are just newspaper cutouts, and you can probably just about see it underneath this ooze, the famous ooze green. I like to call this ooze green. I think I just like using found objects like barcodes and newspapers, especially those two at the moment, because I feel for me they really represent the society we live in, especially newspapers. I mean, newspapers, they just really represent, human emotion, human behaviour, and just all the stuff, all the things, political, social, economic, everything that just, that's in society gets represented almost through newspapers, but in headlines and images that grab your attention. And so I thought that was really interesting to see if I could use that as a way to relate this painting back to the society I'm living in. But at the same time, I'm not finished with the painting yet, because I want to put a circle on top, and because I want to talk about belief, and I'm probably going to do the same for the barcode one. And I think, and the reason why I used it, I used the circle a lot in my work, that kind of space, and I think for me, I'm really interested in this idea of belief and what we humans believe in, whether it's barcode being like a modern day society belief that, that it's a part of everyone's life, that it's there to help people, and then we put all this belief in it. Just like newspapers, we think news is really useful, it's there to help people, to inform people about issues that are happening in the world, and it's part of people's lives. It's almost like a belief system. So I like to, I like using space to communicate this aspect of belief or crossing over into space. So I'm going to be probably putting like a circle in the middle on this painting to try and lead the eye into a space, almost like crossing into another space, into another dimension. So yeah, that's the works in progress, and I thought I'd just give you an update about that, and just talk a little bit about the need to be, or that kind of idea of validation, or wanting to have external value for your art. Because I thought that'd be pretty interesting to talk about that. But like I said, now I think as long as I'm happy with what I'm making, maybe that validation, that kind of value from other people is not really that important in some ways. Yeah, it's funny how my mind has shifted quite a bit. But anyway, that's that, and I hope it's giving you a little bit of an insight. If you like what I do and want to support me, feel free to check out my Patreon page, and I'll put the link in the description of the video. But your support really means a lot, as it will allow me to keep developing my work and producing new content like my YouTube videos. So feel free to check it out. Yeah, so your support really means a lot. So thank you very much. And if you like the video, feel free to like the video or comment, or if you have any ideas. And thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.